Yo. Y'all know what it is, man. Back at it with another one. It's at A1SF_CEO. That's my Instagram, at A1SF_CEO. And let's get this work. Today we're talking about survival. That's the name of the game in life. Survival. Everything is predicated off of survival. To get even more descriptive, survival of the fittest. The strong survive, the weak die off. That's just the general basis of life. We live to die, so we all have an expected date that we'll be up out of here, but until that time comes, we want to make it as long and as flourishable as we can until our demise. So we want to make sure that we make ourselves the strongest selves to be able to survive a long time and to accomplish a lot of the things and a lot of the goals we have on our minds. Survival is the main basis. That's the reason why we do everything we do. When you think about it, right? Men go out and work hard to get money so they can get the highest quality women so that they can, produce their lineage and keep this thing going, which is survival for the human race. Women, they look pretty and look good so they can get the strongest male that can be a provider and a protector so that she can bear his kids and they can keep this thing going. That's essentially what it's all about. So that's the reason why I'm always in the gym. That's the reason why I'm always working out. That's the reason why I'm always going hard on my health and wellness, because to its deepest root, you want to make sure that you're your strongest self to fight against anything that's going on, right? No matter what society struggle I might have financially, emotionally, whatever the case may be, damn it, I want to make sure that my body is strong to fight against the physical form of things that come against me. And a lot of the times when your body is strong to fight against the physical things, then it in turn moves over to the mental and the spiritual things as well. Because you have a confidence about yourself to know that you're strong against all bad things that come against you, because bad things will come against you, but you're strong enough to fight against it. So that's why I'm always in the gym. That's why I'm always encouraging people to work out. That's why I'm always encouraging, make sure that you stay on top of your health and things like that, because it's what's important, right? My analogy is this, like, we're humans and we have brains to think, so that makes us the highest on the food chain. But at the same time, to its deepest root, humans are animals by nature. The things that we do that we might not be conscious of, or because of our survival instincts, things that we evolved to learn so that we can survive in the environment that we're in. So, you know what I mean? You want to be your strongest self. Even at your weakest, you want to be your strongest, weakest self, right? Because they say you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if you have something that's weak in you, you want to make that weak thing as minimally weak as possible against every other thing that might be weak, so that at least it gives you a fighting chance. You talk about the good and the bad and the ugly in survival. The good thing about survival is sex is amazing, right? God made sex feel amazing so that we can constantly do this shit, so we can keep this human race going. So that's a part of the good. Like, who don't like sex? Who don't like having sex? If you don't like having sex, something wrong with you. It's just that simple, man. There ain't nothing wrong with going out there and having sex. Besides the sex transmutation, besides the spirits or whatever you bring in, like, for a man, your health, you have to have sex. You got to. It's innate. If you don't, you're gonna lose your mind out here. You're gonna go crazy out here. That's just a fact, my nigga. There's no man on this earth that can go without having sex. So don't think that you could just watch a lot of porn, beat your meat, and do things like that, and not actually have female contact and think that you're gonna be a sane person out here, because the energy speaks for itself, man. People can see it. So if you gotta pay for it, man, go ahead and pay for it. Have I paid for pussy? That's a discussion for another topic. But and for a man that said don't pay for sex, that's a lie. You're gonna pay for sex one way or another, whether in the front end or the back end or the middle end. You're gonna pay for that motherfucker. It's one of the oldest professions. It's what's been here since the beginning of the time, and it's gonna be here. That bitch ain't going nowhere. To the ladies that selling sex, I mean, listen, I ain't gonna hate your hustle, I ain't gonna knock your hustle, but you're selling yourself short. Put it to you that way. If you're just doing a monetary transaction, I hope you're getting the most out yourself, and I hope it's worth it for you, because the mental anguish that you're gonna have against that, the self-esteem issues you're gonna have for that, are gonna weigh out longer in the long run when you start to realize who you really are. So, you know, you do what you want, man. I ain't telling you what to do, but I'm just saying, like, as a human, you got to have it. That's a natural thing. It's innately, it's what's supposed to happen. You got to have sex, especially if you wanna pass your lineage on, man. You wanna, you know, keep your bloodline going. Why not? Like, you know, if you know you're a good person, you would want more of your type of people in this world. That's the way you change shit. You feel me? That's the way you can change society. Like, you're bringing more of your people into the world that you know you're a good-hearted person. Not saying that your offspring's gonna be one, but you'll have the opportunity to bring it up to be a good person similar to yourself, and it can change society that way. So, you know, sex, that's part of the good. The bad is survivability. Listen, a person that's in survival mode will do anything. Will do anything to, you know, make sure that they survive. So they will kill you so that they can survive. That's the bad about it. And it could get really bad. Like, a person that's in survival mode, don't care who they crush, don't care who they step on, they gonna step on who they gotta step on to get what they need to get. And that's the dangers of the survivability, because it's survival of the fittest. That makes this a jungle out here. That makes it, you know, it makes it hard to be trustful to things out here, because you know, everybody's looking out for their own basic benefit for themselves so that they can survive. And it makes it hard for you to be able to trust anybody. It makes it hard for you to, you know, trust that things are ever going to be good, because, you know, it's survival of the fittest. Like, when you think a person might be a good-hearted person, that person could be a snake just because they looking out for them people, for their own selves. So that's some of the bad of survivability. And the ugly. The ugly is, you know, the death and destruction that it can bring, because you got people that's of different cultures that want their culture to be on top, and the things that they think might not be the same way how you think things should be done. Which, if you go back into, you know, real ancient times, man, they used to have sacrifices on people, and they might still have that to this day. They might still have it to this day, but, you know, that's some of the ugly when it comes to this survival mode, or survival as a whole. And it's not to be discouraged and not to be scared of it. It's just so you should have a point, going back to what I said before, making yourself your strongest self so that you can fight off whatever it is that might come against you, right? That's what should push you to be your greatest self. That's what should push you to be strong when it comes to physicality. That's what should push you to having the knowledge and the wisdom to understand certain things, so that when you're met with obstacles, you can survive it and not get caught up in the wind. But sometimes shit happens. That's how it goes. Morals and ethics when it comes to survival. A person in survival mode will drop all their morals and ethics just to survive, right? Going back to a woman selling herself. That ain't morally right, but hey, she gotta eat, you know? She might have kids that gotta do something, and she gonna get what she need to get. And then in that same reciprocal, she taking money from a man that might not even have it like that. You feel me? He's spending his last, but he just want a piece of pussy he can't get, right? And so now he, you know, in survival mode of getting pussy, he willing to go ahead and drop everything that he got just to get the pussy that he wants. So that's just the main basis of this shit. But that's life as a whole. Like, it's nothing you can do against that. Like, you can't. It's survival of the fittest. Darwinism. You gonna either the strong survive and the weak die off. It's that simple. So you better make yourself your strongest self any ways you can, monetarily, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You want to always be working on making yourself your strongest self. Fuck being comfortable. Fuck looking at the past or whatever the case may be. Keep on striving for the greater good. Listen, that's what pushes us to go out into space. That's what pushes us to get to new heights and reach new things that we never have, because, you know, there's only so much you can do here. And after everything's exhausted here, I mean, you got to find something else to keep pushing. It's another reason to keep going for. And, you know, so I think that's what survival is, you know, all about. Now, you know, they say, you know, it's people that's born off of survival, and there's people that goes off of love. And, you know, I hear all of that, but the reality is this: everybody go off survival. Fuck what they tell you. Everybody go off survival. All that fucking love shit is out the window. Everybody go off survival. Everybody needs to survive. Everybody want to survive. I don't know a person that want to die. You know, and the people that want to die, they go ahead and they do it. You feel me? So, it's you. Make yourself your strongest self. That's it. I don't really got too much else to say on that. The last thing I got to say pretty much would be about trust. and that, you know, it'll make it tough for you to trust people, but innately that's just goes back to your moral ethics. Like, you can still be your strongest self and survive and still be a trustful person or a trustworthy person and trust other people, but trust other people in ways to know that they may hurt you. Trust other people in ways to know that they're gonna be who they are. You can't change that. Like, you don't know these people. You don't know people out here. You think you do, but you really don't. You don't even know your family for real like that. You don't know your mama, your daddy like that. Like, think of it like this. Your mom and your dad probably had, depending on when they had you, close to 30 years on this planet before you was even here. 30 years of surviving, of going through the shit that they had to go through before you even was thought of. You know what I mean? So, you know, you really don't know these people like that. They put off what they, you know, put off to you because that's what they put off. But man, listen, the reality is this. Once you become of a certain age and understanding in yourself, like, survival of the fittest is the name of this game. Do everything you got to survive, but then be the same, be who you are authentically. You know, try not to be a bad person, you know, for the sake of other people, but the choice is yours. So like I always say, man, y'all make sure y'all stay in the gym. Make yourself your strongest self. Go as hard as you can each and every day as if it's your last, because you never know when it's going to be. And like I always say, let's get this work.